I almost died. And I gotta read this script from all these good white people, where this nigga want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now.
So I didn't want to do the movie, period. And he kept trying to get me to do it, kept trying to ask me to read it. I'm like, no.
So that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie.
Can't take the vertebrae out of your back just to fit inside of someone's ceiling. Mm-hmm. You have to stand up full and proud, stand up erect.
Looks like Katt Williams has got himself a new cheerleader. And guess who it is? None other than Terrence Howard. This is the guy who's now spilling the tea on how Hollywood tried to dress him up. Like a doll. You know, with the dresses and heels, the whole shebang. Not only that, but Terrence is straight up calling out Hollywood for trying to swap out masculinity for couture. And he's not cutting back on the shade either. Apparently, the showbiz people slapped him with the difficult label, just because he refused to squeeze into a dress. Unbelievable, isn't it? Now, we've all heard the whispers in the wind about Hollywood's undercover mission to turn black men into fashionistas instead of action stars. Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams have been hammering this nail for ages. They've been shouting from the rooftops that black actors have to strut in stilettos before they can snag the spotlight.
Pope Conventionate is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man.
And while some folks are brushing this whole thing off easily, Terrence is standing firm. If you don't know already, Terrence has been quite the talk of the town for a while, with his personal life drama hogging the limelight more often than his acting chops. But let's not sleep on his talent, folks. Back in the early 2000s, Terrence was poised to be the next big thing. His performance in Crash had tongues wagging. Everybody thought he'd be the cream of the crop in Hollywood. Fast forward to 2008, and boom, Terrence lands a spot in the Marvel juggernaut Iron Man as Rhodey. There was no doubt he was raking in the big bucks as the top-paid actor in the flick. But then 2010 rolls around, and guess who steps into Terrence's shoes for a sequel? Don Cheadle, that's who. Rumor has it, Terrence got hit with a payday plummet. Not just any drop, though. We're talking about a whopping 50 to 80% pay cut for Iron Man 2. It's enough to make even the most seasoned producer break out in a cold sweat. But did Terrence bite back, or did he bounce? Well, Entertainment Weekly served up the hot tea back then, and Terrence's temper tantrums were hitting every gossip channel out there. But Terrence ain't one to take a hit lying down, so he's fighting back and claiming he got tagged as the angry black man on purpose. Why? Because he had the guts to call out Hollywood's sneaky plot to strip black men of their masculinity. Now, let's rewind the tape a bit, because this whole Hollywood agenda ain't exactly a new script. Other black comedians and actors have also become victims of Hollywood's sly tricks. Celebrities like Eddie Griffin have been the OG voice throwing shade at Tinseltown for its dress-up game with black talent. Back in '99, Eddie did something pretty sneaky himself. He put a spotlight on Hollywood's dress-wearing schemes in his comedy Foolish. Not only did he star in it, but he also penned the entire script. You see, in Foolish, Eddie steps into the shoes of Miles Foolish Ways, a hustlin' comedian aiming for the Hollywood jackpot. But here's where it gets spicy. There's this unforgettable scene where the bigwigs at the studio try to sweet-talk Foolish into slipping into a dress for a role, telling him it's the A-list way.
Y'all want me to wear a dress?
Foolish, this isn't a throwaway role. You'll be carrying the emotional energy of the movie.
That scene wasn't just cooked out of nowhere, you know. This was Eddie's way of throwing shade at the bigwigs of Tinseltown. Of course, this isn't the only case that happened. Let's rewind back to 2006, when Dave Chappelle revealed the ultimate gossip on The Oprah Show. Get this, Dave gets roped into wearing a dress for a movie gig with none other than Martin Lawrence. And the way he described it, it was like a scene ripped straight from Foolish.
I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
When Dave was asked to slip into a dress, his first reaction was a straight-up no. But what really grinds his gears? They didn't even bother to ask if he was cool with it. That kind of decision should have been a group chat moment, you know? But instead of being okay with it, the set guys just told Dave to suck it up. Because all the other legends before him had no trouble putting on dresses. Guess there's absolutely no shame in this game, huh? Now, if we zoom ahead a bit, there was another interview done with one of Hollywood's favorites, Kevin Hart. At this time, he was getting asked about Dave's dress drama. And you know what Kevin does? He shrugs it off like it's no big deal, saying that kind of thing never happened to him. According to him, it's all about setting boundaries.
Definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are.
Kevin thought none of these things would happen to actors if they just drew the line somewhere. For Kevin, he knows where his limits are, and slipping into a dress ain't one of them. But just a hop, skip, and a jump later, Kevin finds himself donning a dress for an SNL sketch. And boy oh boy, did things take a turn.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
It was like a turbo boost for his career. Suddenly, Kevin's riding high on the wave of success, and all because of that daring dress move on SNL. So if you're still doubting the power of the dress in Hollywood, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sadly, the dress saga doesn't end here. Here's where it gets really spicy. Katt Williams didn't hold back when he threw some massive shade at Kevin for choosing to play dress up for Hollywood. But he also said that we shouldn't give Kevin Hart such a hard time. If he's cool slipping into a dress because it's the thing in Hollywood, who are we to judge? Standing up for what you believe in isn't always a stroll in the park. Sometimes you're the lone wolf in a pack of sheep. So if someone like Kevin comes around and does what his production team tells him, we can't really blame him. What's fascinating is that back then, this conversation that Katt had about Kevin was brushed off as pure conspiracy theory madness. But fast forward to today, and guess what? People are taking a second look, wondering if maybe, just maybe, Katt was onto something after all. This is where you cue the X-Files theme music. What Katt is saying, though, isn't just based on what he's seen and heard in the showbiz industry, but he himself has had to swat away some hefty contracts, all because they weren't coming clean. When Williams was doing an interview on Club Shay Shay, he revealed that at least 4 contracts wanted Katt to wear a dress. Katt also spilled that Martin Lawrence tried to squeeze him into his first dress for Big Mama's house.
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner, you my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We gonna do it together. We gonna do some buddy cop shit.
Martin was a guy Katt completely trusted, to the point where he didn't even ask Martin for a script when he was asked to come and fill in a spot for him. So there Katt was, reading this script in front of a bunch of fancy folks, and what do they want him to do? Put on a dress with Martin. Can you believe it? It didn't even make sense for Martin to be in a dress either. Because it turns out he had already been in a dress for another episode of the show. Oh, for crying out loud. It seems like none of the actors and comedians in the black community are spared this dress-wearing role. The situation has gotten so bad that there have now been reports people like Terrence Howard are leaving Tinseltown after the whole dress debacle. When Terrence was grilled about the buzz on him getting the boot from Iron Man 2 due to some on-set shenanigans, Terrence clapped back. He made it crystal clear. He wasn't going to let Hollywood big shots dictate what a black man should look like on the silver screen. In another interview with Revolt, Terrence goes all in. He laid it out perfectly when he said, only white dudes get to flex their muscles without raising eyebrows, while strong black men get the side eye. You bet Terrence isn't sugarcoating anything here. He's straight up saying it's time for Hollywood to expand its horizons, let men be men, and still appreciate women's beauty. Now that's what you'd call a mic drop moment. When it comes to this whole dress-wearing drama, though, there's been a whole lot of online buzz, too. The internet's cooking up a storm of opinions. Some folks are tossing around the conspiracy theorist label while pointing fingers at Terrence and Katt Williams. According to them, we've got bigger fish to fry than actors in dresses. But hold up, there's a flip side to this coin. Some fans are giving Terrence and Katt a standing ovation for pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's shady business. They're saying this dress debacle definitely has more going on than meets the eye. As the internet continues to shut these guys down or raise their voices, one thing's for sure, we're all ears here. So what's your take on Terrence Howard's dress controversy comments? Do you smell a rat in Hollywood's wardrobe department? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep this conversation sizzling.